A single Russian oil refinery can be hit by a Ukrainian drone flying over 600 kilometers, bypassing traditional air defenses and striking deep into Russia's industrial heartland. This is not a one-off strike. 2023 alone, Ukraine launched more than 1,000 drones at targets inside Russia, forcing Moscow to rethink the geometry of its air defense grid. Russia's western border stretches over 2,000 kilometers, dotted with refineries, power plants, and military depots within range of Ukrainian launch sites. Now, the terrain is mostly flat, with forests and rivers offering limited concealment but few natural barriers to low-flying drones. Key infrastructure clusters like the oil refineries in Belgorod and Bryansk lie just 80 to 200 kilometers from the border, which is well within reach of even small fixed-wing UAVs. How does Russia adapt when the threat comes not from high-altitude bombers but from swarms of cheap, low-flying drones? The answer starts with radar coverage. Russia has begun deploying more mobile radar units such as the Podlet K1, which can detect low-flying objects at ranges up to 300 kilometers. These systems are now positioned closer to likely drone corridors, especially near critical energy infrastructure. Meanwhile, Russia is reinforcing its layered air defense. Pantsir-S1, which is a short to medium-range system, is being stationed on refinery rooftops and around power plants. Each unit can engage targets up to 20 kilometers and is optimized for small, slow-moving aerial threats. In Moscow, at least a dozen Panzer units now ring the city, which is a visible sign of the shifting threat perception. That said, the challenge is not just detection, but response time, because drones flying at 100 km per hour can cross from the border to a refinery in under an hour. Russian air defense crews have reduced their reaction time by integrating automated tracking and engagement protocols, linking radar, electro-optical sensors, and missile launchers in a single network. So by any measure, the cost calculus is shifting drastically, because a Ukrainian drone might cost just around $20,000, but intercepting it with a Panzer missiles can run over $100,000 per shot. To address this, Russia is fielding more electronic warfare units. These systems, such as the Kursuka 4, can jam GPS and disrupt drone communications within a 150-kilometer radius, forcing drones to crash or miss their targets. Why does this matter now? The economic impact is immediate to Russia. In the first half of 2024, drone strikes forced the temporary shutdown of at least 5 major Russian refineries, cutting national fuel output by up to 15% for several weeks. Each day offline can cost millions in lost revenue and disrupt supply chains across western Russia. So this changes the calculus. Every kilometer of pipeline or every storage tank is logistically impossible for Russia. Instead, Russia is concentrating defenses on the highest value nodes such as refineries, fuel depots, and command centers, while accepting that some infrastructure will remain vulnerable. Zooming out now, the political effect is very clear for Putin. Kremlin faces mounting pressure to reassure the public and maintain economic stability. Visible air defense deployments in major cities serves as both a deterrent and a signal of control. But at the same time, they also acknowledge the new reach of Ukrainian capabilities into major areas in the Russian interior. Put differently, the drone threat is forcing Russia to divert resources from offensive operations to homeland defense. This reallocation affects everything from military budgets to the deployment of elite air defense units, some of which have been pulled back from the front lines to protect strategic assets deep inside Russia. Meanwhile, Ukraine's ability to strike at range complicates Russian logistics. Supply convoys, fuel trains, and repair crews now operate under the constant risk of aerial attack, slowing response times and increasing operational costs. This is not a moral judgment, it's an analysis of incentives and logistics. Both Russia and Ukraine are adapting, but the rapid evolution of drone warfare is redrawing the boundaries of what is vulnerable and what can be defended. So as the range and frequency of Ukrainian drone attacks grow, Russia's defensive playbook is being rewritten in real time, and we're seeing it happen. The next phase will likely see even more emphasis on electronic warfare, rapid response teams, and hardened infrastructure. So the map of risk inside Russia is shifting, and with each new strike from the Ukrainian side, the line between front and rear grows less distinct. So the question is not whether Russia can stop every drone, but how it manages the new normal of persistent long-range threats. So if you like this kind of content, do me a favor, like and subscribe for more, and also put your comments below.